Bill O'Reilly has got it figured out. It turns out Martin Luther King would have been a Fox News viewer. He says, as we're commemorating the 50th anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech, King is against the current black people. He was in favor of the current right wing. Well, Bill, explain it to me.
The question tonight is, how would Dr. King see the current racial situation in America? Would he be pleased that nearly 75% of black babies are born out of wedlock? No, he would not be. Would he be accepting of the violent crime wave caused by young black men? He would be appalled. Would he accept the broken educational system in many poor precincts? No, he would not. Would he be happy with the rap industry and other pernicious entertainment aimed at the young? I do not believe Dr. King would be happy about that at all. And finally, would he approve of a civil rights movement that continues to blame American society for the problems encountered by blacks, rather than encouraging personal responsibility as a way to achieve individual success?
Oh, preach it, brother, man. I know, man. If MLK was back, he'd think, Bill O'Reilly is my guy. Yeah, he would definitely think that. And God, he's such a master technician at propaganda. First, he starts with, well, would he be appalled at crime in the African American community? Yeah, well, the sorry state of education, yeah, of course, we're all appalled at it, right? But then he does a slight of hand there and goes, and rap industry too, like crime and bad education. Oh, he would hate rap. Of course he would. And then the final one, oh, the civil rights movement. Well, obviously he despised the civil rights. Wait a minute. He was the leader of the civil rights movement. See, the civil rights movement hopes for equality for not just, by the way, black people, but also for poor people, which Fox News despises. The whole point of Fox News and Bill O'Reilly is to protect the rich. You're telling me he would have been on your side? But he sets up a straw man. He says, well, civil rights movement or personal responsibility. Why can't we have both? God, he's good at this. Now he continues to convince his knuckle-headed audience that MLK would have been pro-right wing. Let's watch.
On Saturday, tens of thousands of folks gathered in Washington to honor Dr. King's crusade. But sadly, most of the speeches were heavy on grievance, light on problem solving. We heard a small bit of criticism directed at irresponsible behavior that leads to chaos and ruin, but not much. However, we did hear a lot about racial profiling and voter identification requirements. We heard questionable comparisons of Trayvon Martin to Emmett Till. We heard the continuing mantra of more government money to fix social problems that can only be fixed in the home. Intelligent Americans know it is the collapse of the traditional family that is wreaking havoc in the African American community. The other issues, while somewhat important, are essentially a sideshow. If Dr. King were alive today, I believe he would be brokenhearted about what has happened to the traditional family, and not only among blacks.
I tell you, man, O'Reilly, it's like he did a Vulcan mind meld on Martin Luther King. He knows that Martin Luther King is against grievances. Now, who wants to bet that if Fox News was around back then, they would have said about the March on Washington, look at all these grievances. Oh, boo-hoo, they don't let you into their diners. Oh, you got different color water fountains, white and colored. Oh, they don't let you into the bus. Oh, you got to sit in the back of the bus, do you? Bunch of grievances. Why don't you just take personal responsibility for how wrong you are? You don't think the right wing at the time did that? Of course that's what they did. So now O'Reilly tells us, no. It would have been very different. They would have totally been in favor of Martin Luther King. Laugh along with me. And he says right now, civil rights movement, they're worried about racial profiling. I'm pretty sure the civil rights movement in the 1960s was also concerned about racial profiling in a massive way. And then voting rights. Martin Luther King wouldn't have cared about voting rights. The right to vote, of course he wouldn't have cared about that. He would have wanted you to fix the family. Now look, you gotta understand something. Martin Luther King was a reverend. So did he care about family values? Of course! But it's not an either or. He sets up straw man after straw man. Like, look, if you care about family values, obviously you wouldn't give a damn if black people could vote or not. That makes no sense whatsoever. Like, except his audience is like eating this up with a spoon. Like, oh, Bill, tell me again about how MLK would have been in favor of us and against Al Sharpton and civil rights and Jesse Jackson. And they love to paint it in that way too. All those people working for civil rights through all the different organizations. They're not all represented by Al Sharpton, but Bill O'Reilly gets out there. So, look at them, they're the bad guys. MLK's on my side. And finally, what I loved most is MLK would have been against the government trying to fix things. What? Did you listen to a single speech of his? And of course, the resounding answer to that is hell no, he didn't. He doesn't know a thing about Martin Luther King. All O'Reilly does is propaganda. And God, they love it in Fox News land. I guarantee you most of his audience is absolutely convinced that Martin Luther King would have loved the current day right-wing Fox News and Bill O'Reilly and would have been against the current civil rights movement. As insane as that is, I guarantee you they believe it.